So there's a couple very interesting and mysterious things in this new blog post that talks about the anti-cheat measures that they will add into Overwatch 2. And like the first thing that caught my eye is how they're talking about enabling players who are both positive and constructive to be the leading voices in the community. Like, maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe it's just like some kind of saying that I don't understand since English is not my first language. But to me, it sounds like high endorsement players will be listened to more in regards to something. Like, for example, since this blog post is about anti-cheat and stuff like this, maybe if you're a high endorsement player, you could even maybe have more say in if someone gets banned or not, suspended or whatever. Like maybe they're gonna add this type of Counter-Strike style report system where you can check the replays and then vote if the report is justified or okay, no, they weren't actually throwing the game. This looks like it, and then you vote no. And then based on what people reported, it will be decided if this person gets banned or not. But the problem here is that they do talk about endorsement stuff in the end here, but there's only one reward that they talk about. This is basically just blah, blah, blah. And the only reward is awarding Battle Pass experience to players with high endorsement levels, but that doesn't give a leading voice to high endorsement players. But who knows? Maybe this is some kind of saying, because it is kind of weird that they would hint about something like this and then just not talk more about it. So I could be overthinking it, or this could be something very cool, but I just don't see a reason why they would hint about something like this. It's very, very interesting, very mysterious. But yeah, so then let's talk about the SMS Protect. There's a lot of arguments about is this really gonna help? And at the very least, I can say it's obviously gonna make it harder for people to make new accounts. If you get banned, you have to get a new real phone number, because the same phone number cannot be used on multiple accounts at the same time. And on top of that, a phone number can only be used once when making a new account. So you can't make multiple new accounts with the same phone number, but the thing that was said above means that you could potentially, I guess, transfer your phone number to another account that has already been used to create an account. So for some reason, if you had two accounts and you want to transfer your phone number from this first account to the second account, you can do that. But yeah, that's not really, I don't know, it doesn't really matter at all in my opinion. But I think this SMS Protect will work really well, because in the end, you can't be too strict with these kinds of systems, because then the legit players will suffer. Let's just say that if the phone number could only be used in one specific account and you can never change it, what happens if you lose your phone or something? What happens if you somehow just lose, that, okay, in 2 weeks, I will no longer have this phone number because I didn't pay the bill. So then you just permanently would lose your account as well. So there could be situations where someone just loses their whole account even though they didn't do anything bad. So I do understand why they're not making this extremely strict, and that you can change the transfer the phone numbers and stuff like this. But it's still gonna make it more annoying to make new accounts. And then since there's also the first time user experience, this is very cool. When I first heard about this, I thought it was a bad thing, that it's just gonna make it easier for boosters and cheaters and just normal players to make extra accounts and level them up fast. Because now, instead of having to get a specific amount of XP, you have to just only win 50 quick play matches before competitive unlocks. But the thing is, since when you make a new account, it's stuck in the first time user experience mode, so you don't get access to all the heroes because they want you to learn every single hero before you head into comp. So it's like you play a couple games and then you unlock some more heroes and then you can play those, and then you play a couple games and unlock more, and so on. But the thing is that since they will separate new accounts from old accounts, so like if you go into quick play on a new account, you will play with only new accounts, and there still has to be matchmaking rating, which means that like since you want to win, you just want to win games, you don't want to lose any. So if you're a Smurf and you just stomp the first 5 games or so, at that point you're probably already maxed out on the matchmaking rating, and you just get put against other Smurfs, and there could be like cheaters leveling new accounts, and that's just gonna make it a lot slower to actually win these games. Because like my first thought was that, oh, you just need to win 50 quick play games and you just queue up and stomp noobs and win those 50 games in like with 0 losses in like what, 3-4 hours, which would make it even faster than in Overwatch 1. But like they even also say here that like brand new accounts made by cheaters or disruptive players will all have to play through this experience, giving us the chance to identify suspicious accounts before they enter other game modes. So this suspicious accounts thing means that like maybe they even have some kind of flags or something in place that like if you are one of these people that just stomp the first games and then you get put into Smurf queues, that you get marked as like, okay, this guy, this is definitely not his first account. So like I have no idea what happens behind the scenes, but there could be some crazy algorithm stuff going on, since they do talk about machine learning and all this stuff. So this could be very good. Like this could literally just make the game completely clean. Well, of course not completely clean, but just the quality of the game should skyrocket. Like this makes me so excited. And like they said about identifying suspicious accounts, and so like imagine you're a cheater and you just lost your account. It got banned for cheating. So you make a new account and you just want to get back to competitive mode as quickly as possible. So, but you stomp your first 5 games, you get put against like boosters who are like top 500 level players trying to get to competitive mode as fast as possible as well. So then as a cheater, you are forced to already use your cheats while leveling the account. And that way you might get identified as a suspicious account before you even get to competitive mode. So if you are a cheater, especially, then you probably have to play 100 quick play matches. Maybe you even have to play 150 to get your account to competitive mode. And we all know how little patience cheaters have. So like there's gonna be just a big part of the cheater community that will just lose all their hair trying to level up these accounts, and just it's like you're forcing cheaters to play without cheats in quick play. Like, oh my god, this just makes me so happy to think about some guy who like rage hacks in comp, his account gets banned, and then he has to make a new account, and he just can't risk using his cheats, and then he's just gonna be playing against these complete noobs and just gets destroyed. And yeah, so then at some point he will probably just turn the cheats on, and then he might get detected before he even gets into comp, and then boom, he's back where he started and he has to level up yet another account. So I don't know about you guys, but I think this might actually, like, it seems so simple, like, no, it can't fix everything, but like, just this thing alone, even without the SMS Protect, this could be so huge. Like before in Overwatch 1, it's like you didn't even have to win the games. You could, for example, like AFK in a deathmatch and just pick Torbjorn and throw a turret down every 20 seconds to avoid the AFK detection, and the turret shoots a target for you, and that way you will gain XP at the end of the match. So you're like basically AFK leveling accounts this way. But now you actually have to try your hardest in these quick play games against other people who are all making new accounts. So it's like Smurfs versus Smurfs. So this is gonna be huge. It's gonna make it so annoying for boosters and cheaters to make new accounts. I don't think it really is a big problem for someone who just wants to make a second account. Like, of course, this makes the fact that the MMR will go up when you win will make it slower, but it's like, if you're not making a bunch of new accounts, then it's fine. Like, if you just want to make a second account to practice playing hitscan instead of projectile, for example, this will be fine. Like, it's not that big of a deal for real good players who have no bad intentions, but it really fucks over people that need to level up multiple accounts fast. So cheaters and boosters. So this is very amazing. And then we have this is probably going to be very controversial, which is the machine learning and audio transcription. So they're already saying that for years our team has used machine learning to detect and prevent disruptive behavior, cheating, and disruptive text chat. Our detection methods leverage multiple systems, including your in-game reports, blah, blah, blah. But so that means that they've already been using this machine learning to ban people in Overwatch 1. So I don't know how much better this is going to be in Overwatch 2. Or like maybe it is completely different tier of machine learning stuff. And like maybe there was some limitations in Overwatch 1 that are now gone in Overwatch 2, which lets this machine learning stuff really take over. And maybe there's going to be some next level stuff like when they talk about identifying suspicious players, suspicious accounts. So maybe it could be anything. There could even be like, anytime you make a new account, it kind of checks your stats and how hard you're popping. And then let's say you're like a low skill player that wants to sell leveled accounts to boosters. So you're just like, maybe you put your 6-year-old niece to play Mercy on this account to level it up. And then you sell this account to a booster that's going to just pick Widowmaker and headshot percentage through the roof, and then the algorithm will compare to these first time user experience games and just flag you as a booster, and you just instantly get banned, because obviously you don't just go from like a bronze player to GM player just like that. So that also might, if that is the case, like I'm just kind of guessing here, if that is the case, that will make this part even more painful for boosters, because you kind of have to like, you can't try your hardest because otherwise you get put into the hardest games. But at the same time, if you don't try hard enough, then when you get into comp and you start popping, it might flag you as a booster. Or like if you just buy an account that's leveled by a low skilled player, then you're instantly going to get flagged as a booster and banned. So I don't know, there could be so many crazy things that just basically destroy, like make it so difficult to boost accounts and sell accounts. Maybe, for example, like I've always wondered why there isn't more stuff that really compares stats. Like, there's, if you are a booster and you're just popping off on Widow, you sell the account to some plat player, and now he's playing in GM, and suddenly the Widow stats that he gets in the next 20 games are like 3 times worse than what they used to be. And then this account is also flagged for stomping games in the first time user experience one. Maybe this would combine into some machine learning stuff that would instantly just ban this account once it is sold and bought, which would over time just really discourage people to buy accounts because it is risky. And this would also be a huge hit to the booster booster market. So very cool, very cool. It's, I don't know, maybe I'm just too hopeful. Maybe the machine learning stuff is still the same, but they're making such a big deal about the machine learning stuff that I think, like, because we're expanding our detection capabilities by introducing audio transcription. So like maybe they're just like, maybe nothing's gonna change except the addition of the audio transcription, but I don't see why they wouldn't improve it all around. So I'm hoping that there's just technical limitations with Overwatch 1 and now these limitations are gone in Overwatch 2. So yeah, I don't really want to talk about how controversial or like privacy stuff. I think this is completely fine. Like, I don't care if even if they like, it says that once the audio transcription is turned into text, they remove the voice, like the audio version, and just leave it like as a chat log. But like, I don't care even if they didn't, because it's not like, we're talking about the voice chat in a competitive match. It's not like you're gonna be talking about private stuff there. Competitive mode voice chat is about making callouts and stuff like this. So I don't think it really breaks any privacy stuff at all. But yeah, like that's just my opinion, at least. And like I would be willing to even force everyone to play Overwatch with their real name, for example, to really make people accountable. But I guess I just don't care too much about my privacy. I'm a public figure. I'm a content creator, so I guess it's no surprise. Whew. But yeah, I am so excited for this. I think this will actually be huge. This will just actually be huge. And they do talk here about, once again, they talk about the Defense Matrix task force. There's the internal task force. This includes engineers, designers, producers, researchers, data scientists, security analysts, just to name a few. Like, I feel like they wouldn't make such a big deal about this unless they did make some serious upgrades and hire a lot more people. And this also supports my idea that, maybe this machine learning stuff is also taken to next level instead of just adding this audio transcription thing to it. But speaking of the audio transcription, I think this is huge. Like, I'm just hoping that Blizzard finally gets to the point where, for example, if you just say the N-word in text chat, like, why not just immediately suspend this person or mute them for a week or something? Like, the same way with, like, now if you're gonna yell the N-word in voice chat because, haha, there's a streamer, I'm gonna be funny and just yell the N-word because that's what you shouldn't do, so I'm gonna do it. And then I click report, and they just instantly check the audio, what he said, and he said N-word, boom, it's time to ban this person. But the problem, I think, is gonna be that, there is this internet rule of, like, when you try to stop something or hide something, people just want to do it more. So I think it's gonna become kind of like a sport to try to get around this system, to, like, say the N-word in voice chat in a different way, and then it's like, especially if it's normal that if you say the N-word in voice chat and someone reports you, then you just immediately get suspended and maybe the match even gets cancelled. So now there's going to be a guy who gets into match with a streamer and he says the N-word in some very weird way that cannot be recognized by the system. And then everyone's going to report him, and then he's just going to laugh, and he gets all this attention, and he didn't get suspended even though he said the N-word in this weird way or something like that. Like, he figured out some way to say it. But I guess that's what machine learning means, is that it learns and adapts to these new ways to say the N-word and new ways to flame. But at the same time, it's like, how far can this go? Can you, for example, detect sarcasm? And since they talk about this, like they mention up here, enabling players who are both positive and constructive. Like, once again, maybe I'm overthinking it, but since they include the constructive part, they're kind of focusing on this just like the normal call outs. Like there's no reason to like really say the word constructive unless it's important in the context of this whole blog post. So the constructive to me means like, hey Anna, would you mind going Moira because we can't protect you from the dive? So if you play Moira this way, you would die, like you wouldn't die at the start of every team fight to their divers. Like just a suggestion. So like this would be more like constructive versus like the EU special, you would say, which is like, our Anna died again, GG, you know? Like there's 2 team fights and the Roadhog one trick in your team says like, okay, our Anna doesn't have nano boost yet, I guess it's GG. Like I feel like people like this should also be suspended. There should be zero tolerance for this kind of like negative stuff that it's like, it's not really like hardcore toxicity because you're not directly attacking someone with like words. It's more just like ruining the team morale and complaining because like no one cares if it's like, why do you need to point out if someone is having a bad game? It's not like they're trying to do it on purpose, and if they are, then just report them and move on. You don't have to like ruin the atmosphere for everyone in the team. So I'm hoping that this machine learning and audio transcription stuff means that it's going to be machine learning, maybe even like, you know, this type of less toxic toxicity. Like, I'm not sure, like, I don't know if it's just like a meme or something, but I heard that, for example, in League of Legends, you can get suspended for saying easy when the match ends or something like that. Like something as like small as that. It's like obviously it's a bad thing to say, but it's not a big deal. But like we all have our different threshold for what is considered toxic and what is not. Like some of you guys watching right now already got offended from me saying that it's toxic to say GG after you lose first team fight. You know, like there is, believe it or not, there's like there's some people watching that think that it's not toxic. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, all this stuff, it's like when you really think about it, and it's like none of this stuff by itself would be a big deal, except the first time user experience, which is ironically the thing that I feel like people will least care about, even though this is going to be so huge. This is going to be the main thing that makes it painful for boosters and cheaters to make new accounts. I'm going to be very curious to see what the quality of the games will look like in Overwatch 2. Especially like, I feel like the more players there are, that also increases the quality of the games, because the more smaller a server gets in terms of the player base, the more one person being toxic affects the whole community, you know? Like the smaller the community, the more just one person being a bad boy affects the community, if you know what I mean. But yeah, and on top of this, like they're having all these new people in, and there's some external stuff that they've been like talking with security vendors who design anti-tamper, anti-cheat stuff. And you know, maybe in the future we could even get that like kernel level anti-cheat or whatever that is in Valorant, but I don't really know if that's just some kind of buzzword from Riot, that it's not actually that efficient, because you know, in the end, if you can get around it somehow, then it doesn't really matter how hard it is to get around it, because you know, that's not really going to discourage people, because getting around cheat detection is not done by the user of the cheat, but the person who makes the cheat. So I don't know, I think this is a way better approach to just ruin the experience for cheaters before they even get to the main experience. This is like, I think this is gonna be great. I would love to get like replay codes from like quick play games where there's like a guy who plays like a bronze player, and then he gets mad and turns on his cheats to try to win the match because he's tired of losing every quick play game. He's played 400 quick play games already and only won 5. and then he just starts rage hacking. Maybe, you know, maybe they even have like chat logs in the replays in Overwatch 2, so you could read what they say, and just like, I think you could find some really nice content from those. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of petty because like I'm just very salty at cheaters and boosters for basically just ruining the game at this point, since the community is a bit smaller, especially on the EU server. Like I just don't play on EU anymore because it's just the game quality is so bad. So yeah, all in all, I'm so excited. I'm so excited that this blog post made me even more excited than I was before, and I'm already like so hyped for Overwatch 2. And they do talk here as well about how they're constantly improving the stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys got as excited as me from this, because I think this is amazing. But either way, thank you so much for watching and listening, and I hope you enjoyed my analysis of this blog post, and I hope this made you like feel like Blizzard is actually doing something, because I do believe that things are gonna be very, very nice in Overwatch 2. I think it's gonna be just like the start of Overwatch 1 again, where it's gonna be the golden age of Overwatch all over again. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.